let's go ahead and add some makeup. Adding makeup is actually very easy to do. I'm going to start with the hardest thing to do. And that is eyeliner, or at least it's hard for me. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new layer, and this will be eyeliner. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. Before I do that, I want to make sure that I have a very small brush, and very important, I want to have smoothing turned on. I'm going to raise smoothing up quite a bit. I am using a stylus. This is very difficult to do if you're just using a mouse, and I'm just going to follow along just the edge of the eyelid, just right on the edge, something like that. And I'll do the other side, and again, I do have smoothing turned on, so it's giving me a little bit of a delay, and that delay is helping me to draw accurately. And so now we'll change the blend mode to something like multiply, and then lower the opacity down just a little bit to bring back some of the original. Okay, so that's eyeliner. I think that's how that's supposed to look. All right, so let's go ahead and add some eyeshadow. Eyeshadow is pretty simple. We'll create a solid color adjustment layer. I'm going to fill this with whatever color I want for the eyeshadow. We'll do something crazy like purple, and then I will fill this in with black. I'll be painting with white with a small brush, and then I can just come back in here and paint in this area. I'm going to turn smoothing off for this one. I don't need that. I'm painting with white to protect some of these eye areas, and then I'll just change this to color and drop the opacity down just a little bit. Okay, so that's eyeshadow. We can do the same thing with blush. Same thing as before. We'll create another adjustment layer, a solid color adjustment layer. I'll do something like maybe this color. I'll go ahead and fill it with black. And then this one, I want to create a large brush that's very soft. What's helpful here is to turn the opacity down just a little bit. So something like that. And then I'll come back in here, I'll paint with white, and then I'll raise the opacity up. I'll take some of that back. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some lipstick. We'll create another solid color adjustment layer, and I will do a red, and I'll fill that with black, and I'll paint with white. For this, I want a somewhat soft brush, and I can paint in with white here, just the lips. I don't have to be very accurate with this because, again, I'm doing this on a layer mask, so I can always come back in here and change that. So for this one, color doesn't really give me the look that I want, so maybe I'll try something like overlay. That looks pretty good. Or soft light. I think soft light looks actually much better, much more realistic. And so then I'll just turn down the opacity to something like that. And the very last thing we'll do here is mascara. We'll add some eyelashes. Now typically this is done with a small brush. I don't have smoothing turned on, and I do have pressure sensitivity turned on my stylus, because ideally what I want to do is create a brush stroke like this that ends kind of at a point. Now what's going to be very challenging about this is I don't have any eyelashes to use as a guide. Normally you just kind of trace along someone's existing eyelashes to create this, but I don't have that for this one, so I'm just going to have to create these from scratch. And so I'm just using very gentle strokes, trying to follow along the eyelid. I'm not doing that great of a job, but you get the point. Again, I do have pressure sensitivity turned on this tablet, so that is impacting also the size of the brush and also the opacity of the eyelashes themselves. So I'll come back in here and add a few more. Something like that. And I can come back in here and adjust the opacity down just a little bit to create more of a natural look. Okay, so that's applying makeup in Photoshop.